Hello, welcome to another episode of On the Floor with Wayne and Rob. I'm Wayne Highlander with Bona Adhesives.
I'm Rob Johnson with the Bona Training.
How we doing, Rob?
Pretty good, Wayne. How are you?
I'm good. We got a lot to get started on today.
Oh, we
And
sure do. And I got bad news for you.
you do?
Yeah, I was in North Carolina this week. We did a 3-day Bona Santa Finish School. Went fantastic.
Okay.
But we had a listener there.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Everything was good
Mm-hmm.
until he told everybody that they should all be listening to the On the Floor with Rob and Larry show.
Wow. Wow.
The Rob and Larry show.
You didn't pass him, did you?
I never said a word, but I'll tell you what,
Hmm.
Larry was,
That's
Larry, our Mid-Atlantic sales TM there. He was pretty pumped. He really
ah.
liked the way that sounded, man.
Wow.
I
Wow.
mean, yeah, yeah, he was all over that, man. He had mentioned it a few times. So,
Wow. Wow.
yeah. Yeah, but I
Well,
don't think anybody can talk as much as you. So I don't know.
probably not.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I'll probably be okay then.
Yeah, on the
All right.
floor with Rob and Larry. I do like having
Your name
the
first?
my name first. That was
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
put that guy right at the head of the class.
Appreciate that.
Yes.
All right. Well, look, we got a lot to get going on today, and first of all, we're going to visit with three of our employees. I was going to say territory managers, but the first guy is not a territory manager. We're lucky to have him in several different roles at Bona, and so we're going to fly down to the great state of North Carolina. Oh, actually, you're not going to be able to fly, right? I thought you don't have the same privileges as the directors do. Well, I'll meet you down there. Okay.
Okay.
All
Yep.
right. So when you
I'll see you down there. Yeah.
okay. Wow, you look pretty haggard, Rob. I thought the trip would be a little easier on you.
Those buses are really hot, man. The
Wow.
AC was broken in it.
Hmm.
How was your flight?
Well, they give us some extra first class food, so I brought you some snacks for your
Oh,
next. Yeah,
thank
appreciate
you.
it.
I appreciate that.
All right, who we got today? We're going to talk about to Robbie Smith. Robbie Smith has played a lot of different roles. He was a contractor for many years, second generation. He started off in tech and training, and then moved on to a territory manager, and then now in product management. He's been excellent. I mean, the problem with the guy is so valuable you can put him anywhere. But right
Well,
now,
here I got his resume. He was with me in tech and training, and that's where he really learned everything that he knows. And
mm,
his dad did teach him a bunch of stuff too, but
yeah,
I it was mostly me
that's pretty
for
generous to give his
everything.
dad a little bit of credit, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
So he was in tech and training, then he went to product management, then he
Okay.
went to sales. Now he's back in product management. And I'm pretty sure that he now leads Bona in different titles. That
You
gives
know
him,
what? You might be right. You
yeah,
might be right.
I think so.
But has excelled
You
in
know, you
all of
never
them.
know where this kid's going to land next. I mean, he
Yeah.
could be,
That's why I'm always
next,
polite to him.
he could be next
Yeah.
VP of sales or, head of maintenance. Who knows? Who knows where Robbie's going to end up?
Well, we're going to talk to him about what he's doing with Chroma. He's been very active in that product, and he's got some unique insights about this that we'll let him talk about. First of all, how you doing, Robbie?
I'm doing good, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for your spending some time with us, man. We're glad to have you on. I was down in North Carolina recently talking to you about Chroma, and you were doing some other stuff with it, testing and what have you. And I started talking about tinting finishes and this is where this is why you're on here today. Back in the day of having the tint finish. So why don't you tell me what kind of your experience with Chroma and tinting finishes and where you're at right now?
Well, so I mean, I think, I think I was on here before talking about Chroma, and I think, many people have seen it in its pure form as a, water-based coloration system or stain. But as we work more with that product, we're learning that it's not one dimensional. There's a lot of different things that we can do with it, and we're honestly continuing to learn about more things we can do with it. And at NWFA Expo last year, we did a demo and we talked a little bit about tinting. But as we know, not everyone has the opportunity to go to those expos. So I think it's a good idea to get on here and talk about it a little bit more with you guys. I think the biggest thing that stands out to me about it is most of us as contractors have done some type of tinting of finish, or making their own poly shades back in the day or something like that. Um, and the problem with a lot of it throughout the years as we've used these different products, but everyone kind of had their own system as to using a trans tint. I've heard everything from 4 drops to you got to use the spoon they give you to mix your McDonald's coffee up. That's the perfect ratio. So it was all over the place. So the neat thing about Chroma is we've done the testing and everything to take the guesswork out of tinting with using Chroma. So right now, our maximum percentage for tinting finishes and sealers with Chroma is going to be 3%, meaning 3% of a gallon.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that you have to always take it to 3%. Some guys, myself, I tend to kind of want to go to maybe 1.5 or 2% and see where that gets me. And if necessary, maybe pull another coat to achieve that color. But if you're experienced with pulling tinted sealers, you can certainly go all the way up to the 3%. And that's using any of our Chroma colors. And you can mix them as well. It doesn't have to just be one color. If you're really looking to create custom colors, you could, do a half of one color and a half of another color. And as of right now, we're recommending that, you can tint either of our non-tinted sealers, being Clear Seal or Intense Seal. Of course, Nordic, Natural, and Amber are already tinted, so we won't want to keep adding tint to them. And then, of course, any of our finishes can also be tinted as well. We talked a little bit about those percentages and, mixing them in. And of course, you can use mixing cups and all sorts of things, whatever makes sense to you. I mean, Rob has asked some unique questions about how to get these mixed, but most of us are familiar with mixing cups.
Come on, tell him what I said to you yesterday.
He goes, if I got a Dunkin' Donuts cup, what's the ratio that I use, or what do I know if that? I said, I'm not entertaining that. It needs to be a little bit more specific than that, especially considering we're out of school here. But
Yeah.
He's got everybody all looking and everybody's going nuts about the tint. And he goes, it's 3%. And I said, hey, I got a question, Robbie. So if I had a small Dunkin' Donuts cup that was clean, how much would that be? And he goes, please don't listen to a thing Rob is telling you guys. All right.
Yeah.
But, Robbie, I did the math.
Okay, this should be good.
3% of 128 ounces is 3.84.
That's correct.
So that would be about 4 ounces,
If
which
you are
would
using measuring
be,
cups,
which would be a half of a Dunkin' Donut coffee cup, small Dunkin' Donut
With
coffee
some
cup.
with some white powdered donut dust
yeah.
included.
Well, I've actually got a system that I like to use because, like as Rob mentioned, that's not quite 4. And of course, 2% is 2.56. So, measuring cups typically aren't that precise. So I've got a system that I've been recommending to contractors, and they seem to be taking to it pretty well. The guys at the school this past week seem to really like it. Um, so what I like to use is one of these kind of large, this is a 150 millimeter syringe right here. And I know that, in the US, we don't use the metric system. However, everyone's got a smartphone. So if you just, get your ounces, your phone will quickly convert it to milliliters. And then, you can use one of these large syringes. So 2% will be roughly 80 milliliters. So you can use these large syringes to just pull it right out of the jug, transfer it, and then shoot it right into the finish or sealer that you're trying to use. So that's what I've been recommending to people. But of course, whatever system makes sense for you, that'll certainly work as long as it's somewhat precise. And you can pick up these large 150 millimeter syringes, 2-pack on Amazon for $8, or a lot of different stores will sell them, Tractor Supplies, things like that. But
If
that's
you're
been the easiest that I've found for guys.
if you're in Portland, you can probably find the syringes anywhere.
Well, it would need to be a little bigger than those syringes, but yeah, fair
Okay.
enough.
So name the syringes again. Hold that
It's
up so we can see it.
yeah, it's just a large 150 millimeter syringe. And like I said, that way you can just kind of pull the material right out of the jug,
Yeah.
and then you can transfer it straight over to the next jug and then just, kind of put it right into your finished seal. Really clean, really easy, and very precise. So like I said, 2%, which is 2.56 ounces, fluid ounces,
Mhm.
translates to about 80 millimeters. So, and those are clearly marked right on here. And so that
Yep.
way, you can just pull it right up to 80 and then transfer it right over to your sealer finish you're trying to get it
So
in,
you
and
can
then just
you can
shoot it
squirt
right in
that
there.
into the Dunkin' Donut cup and then
And then
pour it
Yeah,
into
go
the
from
into the
there.
gallon.
that'd be
Hey
fair.
Wayne,
So
I just did you Wayne, you just got a message from HR about that Portland remark. So
yeah, I don't.
we're gonna have to wrap this up.
Yeah, I'll get to that later. But okay, so again, where do you get them syringes again?
So you can get them Amazon. I just bought a 2 pack of them, $8.
Okay.
And they pull apart so you can wash them. I mean, they'll last
Yeah.
if you keep them clean. They'll last a long time. Places like Tractor Supply, because I think
Yeah.
they also use them for administering medicine to like livestock and things like that. These big syringes, so they will
Okay.
typically carry them.
Okay.
But again, I think most of us are familiar with Amazon at this point. Two of them for $8. I mean, it couldn't be cheaper, couldn't be easier.
And again, probably in Portland, you could use a Narcon if you have carry those with you. You could substitute that out and put that in there maybe.
I'm not familiar, but I'll take your word for it.
Okay. Hey,
Hey, and
uh,
just everybody, he's talking about not Portland, Maine. He's
no, no,
talking.
no, no, no,
Yeah,
no.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So okay, here's what I love about this. First of all, anybody that's ever tinted finish and using the transit and stuff like that, and or mix all products, I mean, it is not for the faint of heart. It's difficult to tint finish. I don't care,
Hmm.
and nobody. I don't care what your level of experience finishing floors. No one goes into that going, "Oh yeah, this is a walk in the park." It's not. It's hard to do. This has been the easiest product I've ever used to tint finish with. So I think the stress level of using this to tint finish is way easier, man. I mean, way easier than anything I've ever used before. So that's exciting, and I'm glad you guys find you got a percentage down. Okay, so that's huge. But what I
Yeah.
really like about this too, I remember doing a floor years ago, and it was for a guy. We did all his apartments. So he had 4 apartment buildings, like 80 different units, and this was his own apartment unit. He didn't care what color we used. Just stated something in the brown tint. Well, he's fine, whatever. So we didn't even ask what colors he wanted, and we did a mix of like 2 or 3 different colors. And to this day, that was probably 27 years ago. I still keep wishing I knew what that color was because it was beautiful.
Yep.
So that's the unique part of coming up with your own colors. So being able to mix and match these colors together to come up with your own unique color, I love stuff like that, man. I mean, because it's repeatable. You know what I mean?
I agree 100%. And I think, what I always tell people is, a lot of times when they're tinting finish, it's kind of like a break glass in case of emergency. It's like, the homeowner
Yeah,
doesn't like the color or something like that. And it can save your butt in those types of situations. But don't just look at it that way. Also look at it as to how you can create custom, unique looks for your customers and homeowners by, layering colors, a first layer of stain and then a tinted sealer and things like that. So it's not just about, saving your behind if the homeowner doesn't like, you can use them to create custom looks without creating really any more work for you because you're probably going to pull a sealer and a finish, either one, you can tint both.
yeah.
So it doesn't really create any more work for you and you can create a lot of cool, custom, unique looks, with just using chroma. And of course, obviously the biggest thing is you know we've taken the guesswork out of it, but also with staying within a system. That was the other part about it is you're always throwing some random
Yeah.
concentrated dye or tint into a finish that you don't really know how it's going to react. I mean, usually it's going to be okay, but every once in a while, you have something funny and you always wonder like, well, was it because I introduced a foreign thing? We've
Right.
tested this. We know that you're going to be safe
Yeah.
using our products to tint our finishes. So, there's little can provide you a little less stress, a little more relief when you're doing these things. Because, like you said, we have the percentages for you. It's repeatable, and you know that they're going to interact appropriately because, you're staying within our system.
Well, one of the things too is by doing this, we just add another bullet to the arsenal
Oh,
here.
yeah.
I mean, we had a guy at the class who he's like, I have to do something with the Brazilian cherry floor, and should I water pop? Should I stain? Should I? And I said, you know what? We got something, I think, because he goes, I don't need to knock it out of the park. He said, but I do need just to tone the red down a little bit, and big job and everything. And I said, Robbie will be here in about 10 minutes. I said,
Mhm.
it was day 3 of the school. And I said, we're going to show you, I think, something that will work perfectly for exactly what you want to do. So this is just, like I said, just another weapon for us, man. And Robbie, talk about the different sealers and finishes, because I remember when we first started, we were very limited to what
Yeah.
we could mix chroma in. I think it was just intense seal. So why don't you take it from there?
Yeah. So initially, and you're right, I think it was clear seal. We were saying, the only thing that you can tint was clear seal. Um, but I've put the paces in, the whole product management team has put the paces in, put the time into, individually test each sealer, each finish to make sure that, they're going to act appropriately. They're going to, still adhere the way that they're supposed to, that the dry times are going to be the way that they're supposed to. So it took a lot of effort, but, we've put everything through the paces. So any of our finishes can be tinted. And then of course, clear
Water,
seal and
the water base.
the water base. Yes, thank
Yeah.
you. Sometimes I
Okay.
forget we still have the other ones. But and then of course, our clear seal and our intense seal can be tinted. Classic seal is a no, cannot tint classic seal. And then of course, amber, Nordic, and natural are already tinted, from the plant. So, it's really probably not a good idea to start, throwing extra colors into those ones because they've already been, calculated and tinted. So, leave
But
those
I
ones
think the
alone.
big deal now is now we can tint Domo. We can with Domo,
Hmm.
correct?
Yeah.
Domo, Mega
Mhm.
One,
Traffic.
Well,
Traffic.
yeah, back in the day, what I was going to say is that one thing I learned a long time ago is you can match if you're trying to match an existing floor. Sometimes you can match that color dead on.
Hmm.
But when you go to put the finish on is where you lose it. You can't get
Yep.
the amberness. That's where the secondary color comes in, is the amberness of the existing finish. And yes, you can put poly on it, or you can use different products, but it's still not going to get you close to where you need to be. So
Hmm.
having to be able to use one of the chroma colors to get that ambered look with the poly that's been down for 20 years. Man, I just think, and just creatively, this opens you up to so many different avenues and colors. And I'm really excited about this, Robbie. And I'm super excited that you came on and shared this with us. I know you put a ton of time into this product, and I know you're coding with this daily, day in and day out. I mean, and then then sanding that off and then doing it again and sanding it off and
Yeah.
doing it again, man. So I appreciate all your expertise in this area. So thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
he came in. I saved the panel for him. We usually do the chrome on day 2, but he couldn't make it on day 2, so we saved the panel for him so he could do the chroma demo at the school on day 3. And it, I just love watching him do his demo because you want to talk about somebody who's passionate about something, and just the excitement that he gets the other guys with. And it everybody wants to do chroma, right? After he's done, I mean, everybody is. One guy's like, "Do you think we could sand maybe another portion of the panel so we could do some more colors and everything?" So,
Mhm.
I
Oh,
mean, he really drives it home, and he makes it. He just makes it. He gives people a lot of confidence when he's doing his training with it.
okay, we would be remiss if we don't mention this. I know some guys are thinking about it right now, so I'm glad I thought of it. And you obviously didn't. Are you rolling this, Robbie, or are you T-barring it? Does it matter?
It does not matter. Whichever tool you find most comfortable will completely work.
Okay.
So it's really up to you.
What's your
Perfect.
strong suit? That's what we tell everybody now.
Yep.
What are you best at? Where's your
Okay.
confidence?
Okay, cool. All
So
right.
with you, Wayne, that would be
And
probably calling me and having me apply it for you.
of course, these
That
days.
would be your confidence level.
Yeah, yeah, yes. Okay, Robbie, thank you so much, man. We really appreciate
Absolutely.
it. Robbie, Rob and I got to swing out right now. We're headed to the great state of Tennessee, to Nashville. Rob, I'll meet you there because again, you're not going to be able to. I tried to get a first class ticket for you on this plane, and but it would have came out of my
You don't
expense.
think it would be possible for you to maybe trade your first class in and, maybe we could sit next to each other back in coach?
No, 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 no.
Uh,
You see
uh,
how cramped those seats are.
yeah.
Not a lot of room there. So
Okay.
Rob, I'll meet you there. Don't be too long because we don't want to wait on you as I get there so quickly. And Robbie, thank you very much. And
Thank you guys.
we'll check in with you later down the road, okay?
Sounds good. Safe travels.
Well, there you are, Rob. You look all disheveled and everything and sweaty.
Well, we went so long with Robbie that I missed the bus and I just hopped
Uh,
a freight with a bunch of hobos.
wow. Yeah,
But,
you look pretty
you
rough.
know,
You know,
here I am.
on the plus side,
Hey, you know what though? A long time since I eat beans out of a can, but it was pretty good.
well, on the upside, you save a lot of money on what little expense you get every year.
I get expenses?
Yeah. Well,
Really?
yeah. I mean, not like, of course, like what my budget would look like,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
we
exactly.
couldn't put you on the first class.
Yeah,
Sorry, but you're here. Yeah,
thanks.
that's the most important thing is you're here. You look good.
Thank you.
All
Feel
right,
good.
all right. So we got Jeremiah Strong. We're in the great state of Tennessee and Nashville to be specific, and the Regional Trading Center with Jeremiah Strong, territory manager for where, Jer?
Territory manager covering Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana. And Lord knows sometimes you go a little bit into Texas, Arkansas, North Carolina, Kentucky, Florida, just a little bit everywhere.
Easy.
He's only
Um,
covering about 9 states.
no, if anybody is in that territory with Jeremiah and you have not met Jerry yet, Jerry, what's your cell phone number?
720-297-0636.
Jeremiah is just a phenomenal resource, man. He was a contractor for many, many years. I've known Jerry and I have known each other before working for Bona, and he's a great contractor and comes with a world of experience. And we're kind of checking in on guys and seeing what's new out there and what they've been working with, what they've been getting excited about lately. And Jeremiah, so you mentioned working with Vertical lately.
Yeah, using vertical for a few applications on walls. Wife's got me doing a few little home projects, the honeydew list around with, well, Lori Wayne, that
Yeah, yeah, yep,
that honeydew list always seems to get longer. It never gets shorter. So,
yeah. That's the
um,
way.
so actually did put up 5, 10 foot boards, 3/4 solid flooring, just in the middle of a wall, and just use all vertical for it. Held very well. Obviously, had no slump as I ran beads across for each board that was cut, and I had to fit it net to the top of the baseboard and to the ceiling. So it was a little bit of scribe to the ceiling and baseboard. So I needed something to kind of hold it in place for the most part until I snugged it in there and kept dry fitting. But it is stuff that good luck anybody has to take that off because they're pulling the sheetrock with it.
Well, that's something that you and I were at your regional trading center recently, and we had two cinder blocks and put vertical on one, and then wait maybe a minute later, and
Yeah,
pick
yeah,
the blocks up, and they wouldn't separate.
no,
And I mean, it's the power of that product. I think it's a sleeper product, and where that comes into play for a lot of guys is for that first row on the concrete slab. When you want to get that board, it just absolutely needs to set up fast. It needs to not move on you. Don't think of it like any other kind of construction adhesive, or even 851 for that matter, or any other adhesives that come in that category. It is an absolute beast how well it holds and how fast it sets up.
That's for sure. Oh, hey, Rob, I wonder if it would have helped with the some of those loose floorboards you had to deal with on the train ride over here. Um, those. I mean, I know you and the hobos were kind of complaining about some of today's wood not being as strong as it used to be.
Yeah, a lot of bounce over. Yeah, definitely a lot of bounce. I think that would have been perfect for it.
Yeah.
Perfect application for it.
How's the ears after all that?
I bet Wayne puts me in charge of that now.
How's your ears after all that clickety clack uh, going down the tracks like that? They
Huh?
say you hear it in your sleep if you hear it for so many miles.
No, it was really the terrifying screams of the other hobos that kept dozing off and then waking up, stuff like that. That's really what I was hearing. That will probably stay with me forever.
Wow. So Jeremiah, on vertical, where are you seeing guys using out in your area?
I see a lot of stair treads, risers, and even the vinyl plank trim pieces. I actually not sure what that stuff doesn't stick to be honest with
Yeah,
you. I mean, maybe you could tell me or tell some of the people listening, but right now I can't seem to find anything it doesn't really stick to. Yeah, so obviously using vertical, if you're just using a regular caulking gun, it's it can be a little bit of a little more of a chore, I guess, to get it out of the tube. But if you take one of our adhesive sausage guns, you can convert that pretty simply and use that, and then it becomes like just putting out white caulking on baseboard. I mean, it just comes out so easy. So,
yeah, yeah, good stuff. Uh,
How do you make that conversion?
you take unscrew the nut on the top, take the black cap off, and then just move the other nut and the big metal washer up to the top. Put the other nut back on so the metal washer goes right inside the back of a vertical tube. Sure, be nice if we had those in a sausage size 20 ounce, but maybe one day.
yeah, stay tuned. What we'll might be able to put a diagram up of what that looks like to convert that sausage gun.
Or we must have a video of somebody doing that.
Yeah, we do.
That'd be something to put up.
Yeah, I think it's worth. I think it's worth having these in the truck everywhere you go because it is. You'll find 1,000 different reasons to use it, and like you said, for stair treads, it's a given. Um, for board replacements, it is amazing the power that this product has and how fast it sets up. And of course, because it's a silane based product, you can you can mist. I don't like to use the word spray, but you can mist the product, and it will set up way faster. Okay, so if you really want to get, if that, especially for that first row on a concrete slab, if you want to just, I like to put it on the board in a serpentine fashion on the back of a board, and just lightly mist it, and then set that down, and man, it sets up in no time. So you can start kicking off it, and what have you.
It worked so well. That vertical worked so well on that wood project I had up at the wall. And I told the wife, I said, "Yeah, check, hey, look at what I created. It's just wow, it's beautiful, it's great. Put some chrome on there. Well, that's the whole thing. Anyway, but the vertical, and she said, she goes, oh, what else can it be used for? And I said, oh, Wayne said it could be used for like tile, backsplash, whatever. She goes, oh, backsplash. So again, the list got longer, Wayne. That the
That's
economy do list.
that's what
Never
happens.
ending.
Yeah. So right, Jeremiah, what else you seeing out there?
Actually, I know we talk a lot, or I've heard a lot of podcasts on the Power Drive. And I mean, yeah, it's come up a bunch, but in our trade, we're always learning, we're always perfecting. I think you said it best once, Wayne, that when craftsmen truly are craftsmen, and maybe you get haggled on price and whatnot, and you think you're going to end up doing less work or less whatever on a job, and then you can't help yourself, so you did exactly what you always do, if not more, for less sometimes.
Mhm.
It's just part of the sickness. But and I love that sickness. But so Power Drive, again, just learning little tips, little tricks, little things that seem to just keep helping. And there's two things I'd like to touch on is steel plates being one of them. If you don't have a set, I would highly advise you to get some. Especially now we got the 1/8 inch interface pads and the Bona net abrasives. That combination as your last pass is damn near flawless. Uh, Maybe just a touch of dish out versus just straight paper, but I'll take a touch of dish out with the nets and that 1/8 inch interface pad backed by a steel plate to keep it as flat as possible. I'll take that versus the like zero scratches. I mean, there's nothing there. I'm really digging that steel plate right around that 80 grit mark. And to back that up even further, if you're ripping through with 36 or 40 grit on a power drive, thanks to Bob Baxter, Trent Langton, they actually showed me that how much faster 36, 40, maybe even 50 ripping through finish is when you just have the power drive, the sanding pad, and then quarter inch, no steel plate and quarter-inch interface pads, and how much faster cutting goes with quarter-inch interface pads versus no cutting, no interface pad. So two little tips I think are kind of a little different. So we're kind of ripping through the floors a little faster with just using the power drive. Again, just skip the big machine altogether on a lot of jobs, not all of them, but a lot of them. 80 grit, the steel plates come in, really flatten out that floor, really sands the hard grain down to the soft grain, much better with the steel plates. And then throwing on the 1/8 inch interface pad, the net as your final, and even heart pine floors, yellow pine floors. I'm seeing those floors come out extremely flat, flatter than they've ever been with that kind of system.
I'll tell you, I mean, the power drive is a very versatile tool, and what's unique about it is just what we're talking about is finding ways that you can that becomes your sanding system. That once you start seeing these floors as flat as you can get them like this, and when we first came out with the power drive, it's like, oh man, but what about the scratches? What about the scratches? And as we've come out with other tools, and if guys are getting used to this machine and learning how to use this machine properly, or in different ways. It's amazing how flawless these floors can come out. Gosh, you think about the quality of the work being done now with this machine now versus even what great craftsmen were doing 20 years ago. I mean, there's no
Yeah.
comparison.
Yeah.
And you don't have to have that high a skill set that guys took years and years to learn. You can put a guy using the proper system, and now it's just down to the system of what sequence to use, what pads to use, and what have you to turn out to just amazing, amazing quality floors. So,
Hey, Jeremiah, do you pull two checks from Bona or just a single check?
Like Wayne, a couple different varied sources of Bona checks. Yes.
Okay, because I've always wondered if product management, do you get a check from product management too, or is it just sales?
Yeah. I should probably head up
I mean, I used to think you were a mad professor and think, man, this guy's a whack job. Okay. I mean, once I started doing schools with you, even at the old training center, my gosh. Now, when Jeremiah talks, take notes. Okay.
you know what?
Because he
Well,
was the one who gave us the whole inside look at the combi edge. And now I don't do a class, and you ask anybody who comes to the class, Jeremiah, I give you your props every time with the
it's
interface pad, that quarter-inch interface pad on our combi edge is just it's amazing how many guys have told me after they started doing it that they don't have to palm sand anymore.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, think of the time
yeah.
and the labor that you have saved people. So when Jeremiah starts talking, I'm taking notes. So I'm liking this 1/8 inch interface pad deal that you're just talking about, man. I mean, this is just great stuff. But
It's that's a little too much kindness, Rob. I mean, you already threw me in the way too high
oh
up in the
my,
floor draft. That
listen,
was
man,
I
I
didn't even
have
belong in that class, and you put me ahead of
I
Mike Dittmer, which was a complete error on your side.
no
Mike is
way, man.
Mike is no, I'm not even close.
Yeah, You know what? I had a lot of people question that pick.
Yeah, I bet.
I had a lot of people question that pick, and I tell everybody, you know what? Tom Brady was 199th pick. Okay, don't question. Just because somebody can run the 40-yard dash pretty good or throw the ball long, you can't see what's in a man's heart. Okay, and that's why I picked you. All right, I know what's in there. Plus, I needed somebody to work. I was looking at my team and I'm like, I got a lot of Chiefs. I don't have anybody that's going to get down and dirty. And I know
Yeah, that's
that's
true.
all you. So I
Yeah.
needed somebody to, help
Well,
unload the truck and stuff.
you jokingly, I hope you're joking that Bona or that Jared pulls two checks from Bona, but that's the thing is that's why I say if Jared's in your territory, he is as passionate about floors as you can get, man. And he's always doing this. A lot of this stuff he does on his own. You don't ask him to do this. He doesn't have to do these things. Looking at the different patterns and sanding techniques and all the different stuff that he does with tinting finishes and experimenting and trying to push the boundaries all the time because of his passion for the trade. And we're lucky to have you, Jared, on the team. And it's been great working with you. But
I
You
gotta
gotta let me
wait
go.
before we let him go. Okay. I say something at every one of our trainings, like, and I can't remember the football guy's coach, but this is the I think the perfect example of a guy like Jeremiah, and I think why we're so lucky to have him. There is no such thing as a perfect floor, but chasing perfection, you catch excellence. And if you think about, just the little nuggets that Jeremiah just gave us, he's never really happy. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
mhm.
always trying something new, trying to make something better. We had a combi edge. He figured out a little way to make that combi edge even better. So he's always chasing it, you know?
Mhm.
You're the true craftsman, man. You really are. It's really a pleasure to work with you.
Look at Rob giving you your flowers.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
I've never
Yeah.
heard him be so nice. I didn't even
I
know
know. Well,
realtors could say such
also,
kind words.
also his phrase that he coined of "You'll never catch excellence, but if you try hard enough, you'll," whatever that phrase is. He got a chance to work that in too. So that's a double win for
Well,
Rob.
it's only because when you think about the stuff that Jeremiah is always trying out, you know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah,
Someday I'm going to ask him the stuff that when we're just hanging out, maybe at supper or something. I'm going to ask him about all the failures that he tried. What
yeah,
what
That's
blew
true.
up, right?
Oof, it's endless.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I do
uh,
remember one time you and I threw a ton of Transtin into some Mega one time at a school, and
Michigan.
yeah, yeah, that's when we learned a couple of drops.
Yep. Yeah. Well, yeah. More than
But
that, but yeah,
Yeah,
you never know unless you try it, man.
yeah.
that's
And
right.
that's a story of you.
But yeah, there's been quite a few times we've had panels and show people what not to do.
Right.
Um, and it's a good idea. This is why you want to do, layer these coats with color in them versus one heavy one, because this is what you're going to end up with. So now we
Awesome.
know. Um,
Plus, Wayne, he makes a mean sausage and peppers, man.
Yo, I know he does. Yes, I know. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. He also makes great pancakes in the morning when he a lot of times so yeah, he's a full boat, man.
at last year's Christmas school, I did the pancakes and bacon in the morning. He was working, and then at lunch he did the sausage and peppers. But boy, did the class just love that. We didn't just call it in. We were cooking for him.
Yeah,
so
So
very nice.
and I was missing a couple ingredients: the minced garlic with the bell peppers and onions and olive oil and sherry mix. Didn't have a gorgonzola to go on top of that linguiça. For those of you who don't know linguiça, look it up. Try to get some. But yeah, it could have been so much more. And then the bread, it was cut so atrocious that it was a tough one, and yet everybody still enjoyed it.
Damn, I'm
well,
getting hungry
that
now.
that that was my wife. My wife cut the bread wrong. I just
I, it's the worst I've
I,
ever seen.
I, I how do you cut
It's
bread wrong?
It's hot dog. It's almost like a hot dog bun. It's a hoagie roll. I mean,
I,
it's a hoagie roll.
Hey,
yeah.
listen, you guys leave
She
Pauline
might be
alone.
banned. She might be banned from Nashville after the way she cut those rolls.
No
I
way.
took I almost want to take Wayne's poems to Pauline and throw them away, you know. But I kept them. I kept them.
All right, Rob, we got to go. Jeremiah, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for your southern hospitality down there in Tennessee. But Rob and I got to go to California now, and I really feel guilty, Rob. I mean, because the last one was a long trek for you, the last couple of trips. But now going across the country all the way to California, I'll see you there. I'm going to give you 3 days the way you travel. I'll be there in the afternoon. Um, I'll be probably. I was going to say tanning myself, but we all know that's a lie in California. But I'll meet you there, buddy. Oh, Rob, you look absolutely, totally disheveled now, man, and tired. And I've been waiting 2 days, 2.5 days here by the pool for you to get here in California to talk to Larry.
Well, have you ever gone from Nashville to LA uh, in the back of a horse trailer?
I just wondered, man. I know you
Yeah,
couldn't get,
yeah, I gotta grab a shower and then we'll be
yeah,
okay.
yeah, you look pretty
Yeah,
rough, buddy.
yeah,
But being by the horse that long is not pretty.
mm,
I mean, horses got to
exactly.
do what they got to do.
Right.
It's not really on them.
There's nothing dainty about those Clydesdales,
No,
believe me.
no. Well, listen, on the way back, I was going to say I have so many points for traveling. Gosh, I could fly around the world, but I don't know if I could. Well,
I just might thumb at home.
you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd give you my points, but what would the rest of the guys say if I don't give them points?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe Larry can loan me one of his dirt bikes or something.
Yeah,
Ooh,
Gets,
I would
easy.
love to do that, Rob. Yes.
thank you.
Yeah, I got mild to wild. You just tell me what you want.
I figured you had a few of them.
Yeah. All right. So we're here with Larry Stevens. Larry Stevens, the territory manager for California, Northern California, and been with Bona for how long you been with Bona now?
12
Uh,
years.
have you really? Yeah, that's about
12
right.
years.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Wow.
it's all your fault, Wayne.
Hi. Well, I'll tell you what, I hold you in the very highest regard of any sales rep I've ever met in my life. How about that?
Well,
Uh,
I appreciate that. Thank you.
yeah, I've said that to the last two guys that were on, but I mean it this time. Uh,
Yeah, that's not what you said this morning at the pregame show.
No,
Huh.
Larry, we are so very fortunate to have Larry, man. He is as good a human being as it gets, and has a lot of information. He's a hard worker and just a super knowledgeable guy on all aspects of the flooring industry. And you got some exciting news that you want to share with us, Larry.
Yeah, after we just recently opened up a Northern California Regional Training Center, and it's been up and going here for a few weeks, and I am like a kid in a candy store, man. I'm so happy, and I can't thank the team enough for helping getting this thing moving and getting it going. And the facility we have is beautiful. It's just about the right size. It's not too big, not too small. And yeah, I'm excited. We've already done a number of trainings, a 3 day school, a grand opening. I mean, it's been great.
Well, I saw pictures of it, and what's up with the sports floor in there? Who did that?
Yeah, that was part of the 1,200 square feet of training area that got a little bit out of control. And
Yeah.
I brought in one of our VCCs that also does a lot of sport floors, old growth hardwood. And we're taking a look at it. I said, "Hey, I'm gonna put a maple floor in right here." And he's looking at it and he goes, "Man, it's like a perfect rectangle. It's like a miniature gym floor." He goes, "Hey, man, I got some ideas for you." And he starts grinning at me and he's like, I'm gonna send you some stuff tonight in an email." I said, "All right." So he sends me this PDF of like a legit logoed out, Bona full on sport floor. And I
Wow.
saw it and it was late and I was like looking at it, go, no way. And all of a sudden I got all excited and I pumped up. He goes, "Hey man, we need to do this." I said, "Really?" And so I automatically lost like 300 square feet of my floor training.
Yeah.
It's now like a display floor. So we hung up a basketball hoop in there, and we kind of turned it. It's kind of cool. It worked out good because it's the entrance into the training area. So you walk across this really cool gym floor with obviously all of our products on it. But they did a first class job on it, man. It's really cool.
Wow, wow. Um, well, first
Looks
of
like we
all,
can't wipe the grin off of your face, man, talking about your training center.
You know what, Rob? When you want something so bad, and you finally get it, you know how happy you are.
Oh, I know. I can see it in your face, man.
Yeah. It's
I
uh,
could tell too when I heard they were opening it up, I sent him a text and I'm like, "Hey man, congratulations! I know you've wanted this for a while." And man, the note he sent back was just full of exclamations and can't wait to. It, that's why it does sound like a kid in the candy store with you on this one. That's awesome.
yeah. No, I'm excited, man. I have high hopes for this place, and all the products we've had launched in the last couple of years. I mean, all of our customers are really they're needing training, they're wanting training, and that's what
mhm.
we do. We're a sales organization that trains.
Well, we'll put up some pictures too of your regional training center so people can see it. What is it in Sacramento or Folsom or where is it at?
It's in no, I couldn't put in Folsom. It was too close to the prison, so
Yeah,
you
okay, there
wouldn't
you
allow me to do that. You know,
go.
but it's just outside of Sacramento. It's in a town called Rancho Cordova,
Yep.
and it's probably about 20 minutes from the Sacramento airport. And I struggled with where to put this thing. And ideally, the Bay Area would have been great, but they want 40 or $50 a square foot for space down there, and that's not going to work.
You guys
And
could
we've
have
done we've
called me.
done we've done some schools down there, and even when our students fly in, they got to get a hotel room for 400, $500 a night. That doesn't work out too well, so it's really tough to operate down there. So as you guys know, there's no perfect place to put it, but this one has got good accommodations. It's inexpensive to stay if you got to stay a couple of nights. The other thing I was looking at is like, what, if guys are coming up from LA or from across the nation, you got Lake Tahoe that's 45 minutes away.
I was going to say the exact same thing. I mean, this is awesome for your local guys, but anybody that wants to take a couple, days for training and then bring your wife out or girlfriend out or whatever, you got the wine country. You're right down the road from the wine country. You're right down the road from Lake Tahoe, which is, my gosh, one of the prettiest places in America. Man, what a great place, a destination place to use it for both purposes. Now, I'm sure you could write it off as a business expense and the training, and then just bring your significant other, especially when so many of them are involved in our businesses, in some aspect, or no matter what, even if they're not physically or mentally involved in our businesses, they're still involved in our businesses. You know what I mean? Because your wife and your spouse or whatever, I mean, they're still part of what you do all the time. And I don't know, it'd be pretty cool to make it into a work vacation trip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Something that we tell everybody that attends the schools is these training centers aren't just for our 2 and 3 day schools. And I try to tell everybody, especially if you can get to them, man, call us. Use these things. Get your game plan. If you've say you've never used Chroma before, don't try it on the homeowners. Or give us a call. Come on down to the training center. We'll work with you. Like tell all the students there that this is like going to a batting cage or a driving range. We're just going to really improve your swing. And there's just so many new products, new Nordic, new natural, Chroma, different things that we're been putting on the power drive. I mean, things are changing so fast. It's so much easier just to, bounce down to one of the training centers, maybe even grab a day if you can't attend a school, call us or something. And because that's what we want to do with these training centers. We want to utilize them. We want to get these things running and going as much as possible, not just for, the Bona official stuff that you see on the website.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
couldn't agree more with you, Rob. That's exactly what we want to do. And like you said, all the new stuff we have. I mean, it's important that these guys get a. I like that. It's a batting cage. That's a perfect analogy of that. It's 100% correct.
And how can they get in touch with you, Larry?
The best way to get a hold of me is call me or shoot me a text.
Okay.
I am on the road a lot, and I'd like to somehow be able to explain to people that sometimes I don't see an email for a day or two. So,
Yeah.
but they can shoot me an email, but I mean, please reach out to me. They can get my contact off the internet, or if they don't have it already. But yeah, it's wide open, man. And one thing that we're gonna do with this training center is we're gonna have what I kind of call right now the monthly menu, and every month we're going to have a different topic or category that we're going to cover. So it hasn't been implemented yet, but it's going to be, to give you an example, it's going to be, obviously the different products could be a chroma training, it could be a power drive technique training, as well as moisture mitigation, machine repair and maintenance and stuff like that. So, but just a variety of different things that people can look at over the course of the year and say, "Oh man, I want to go check that one out." And we're probably going to do one of these a month, every single month. So that's going to start off here pretty quickly.
Nice.
Hey, do me
Well,
a favor, Larry, when you throw those emails out, throw me on that, all right? I'm always looking to steal people's ideas.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks.
and maybe give your phone number out, Larry.
Um,
Um,
yeah, absolutely. My cell phone number, which is the best way to get hold of me, is 303-585-1085.
Very cool. And listen, if you want to try out, if you never rolled before, if you've never done certain techniques or whatever, if you haven't run a power drive before and you're looking at getting one or whatever, give Larry a call. Come down there and fool around on our floors first before you take it out to a job site. And Larry's very hands-on and we're more than happy to accommodate this for you. So good stuff. How was your open house received?
You know, it was, this is no lie, it was off the hook. I was completely blown away. Obviously the local area, we got a lot of people in, but I mean, it was amazing. Obviously, we had some Bona individuals there, some, Mike Lagry, which is the adhesive manager out here, to all the way up to Clay Covington. So you don't want to strike out. You don't want five people to show up on a grand
Mhm.
opening.
Mhm.
And I think everybody's been pretty conservative, but I mean, I lost count, but I got up to like 75,
Wow.
and there was
Nice.
more. And the food truck that was there, this food truck was off the hook, man. I mean, that was the draw right there, was the food, because that's what just put the cherry on top, was having good food at this event for all these people. But the guy, he wanted kind of an idea how many people are going to show up. I mean, I got no idea. I said, maybe 40, 50
Mhm.
if I'm lucky. And so as we were kind of going through the day preparing this thing, I'm like, you know what, man, why don't we just say like 65 people? And he's all right, I'm gonna bring a little extra food. I'll bring enough for 75 or 80. The food truck ran out of food.
Wow.
So what's that tell
Wow.
you? I mean,
Wow.
now
Wow.
maybe some of these guys went back twice. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I know most of us that were working didn't eat. We didn't have time to eat, but it was cool, man. We had some high end executives from distribution there. We had some retailers there that we've been chasing for a while. We had a lot of contractors, and it was I set the time on this thing from 3 to 7, and tried to keep it real casual. And people showed up at 2, and at 7 they weren't leaving. So
Wow.
when people don't go away, that's a good thing. I mean, I was wore out, I was
Yeah.
tired, but I'm
Yeah.
not gonna I'm not gonna throw people out the door and say that's it, it's over. So
You know, Larry, that a lot of that's because it's a new training center and what have you. But there's a lot of that because there's a lot of guys that would come up and just to support you. You guys, you work so hard and you're such a good guy in this industry, and just a stand-up guy. And so you get a lot of support because of that. And I don't realize how people realize how hard you work. And but we do, we see it, appreciate it, man. I'm super excited you have the training center. You've been talking to me about it forever. I know you had a rental van. Was it Mercedes or something that you were using to move stuff in?
I've had all kinds of rental vans.
Well,
I think I've had them all.
I think after a month after everything was moved in, you were still driving around in Mercedes rental van.
I've had that. I've had all kinds of Enterprise Rent a Truck knows me really well. So
Yes,
let's
very
leave it at
cool.
that. So,
Well, Larry, we'll leave you with that, man. If there's anything else you want to say, but thank you for that. And make sure to reach out to Larry for training. Again, look at the schedule and look at your schedule if you don't live in the California area. Man, if you haven't been to Lake Tahoe, if you haven't been to the wine country, holy smokes, man. It's stunning. There's no other words for it. So thank you very much, Larry. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys. I appreciate being on here. You guys have a great weekend, okay?
Yeah, you
Good
do the
luck,
same.
buddy.
Well, Rob, now we have to go home. It's been a long, long journey doing this. And I mean, for you, of course.
Hmm.
I'm going to have an
Hmm.
Uber car pick me up, take me to the airport. I would take it, but I think
Hey, make sure you drink a lot of water. I don't want to see you get jet lag. Okay. Make
I'll
sure
be
you
okay.
hydrate.
Yeah,
Hydrate
yeah,
good.
yeah. Well, the
Not a
food is
boy.
good in first class,
Yeah.
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 So
Oh
I'm
yeah. Yeah.
comfortable and I get to stretch out my
Yeah.
legs and put my headphones on and everything. But I worry about you.
Mm.
I do. I worry about you.
Oh,
It's such a
don't
long
even think.
journey.
No, don't even think twice about me.
How are you
Don't
going to
worry
get
about it. I'm.
home?
I'll be. I'm gonna thumb it. I think.
You think so?
Yeah. Maybe I'll
'Cause-
grab one of Larry's dirt bikes. That should get me a while.
well, the good thing about thumbing is you get to meet a lot of people. You know what I mean?
And you
Which
know I'm
I,
a people person.
You are, and which I don't. I usually I get the guy sitting next to me, but usually I book both seats, so I don't have to
Mm.
talk to anybody. But you, it's very,
Person of size or
huh?
POS, person of size. Is that why you needed to? Yeah, I don't think you're that big.
Not
No.
yet. No, no, but
Oh,
it's going that way
okay.
because of the
Yeah.
corporate food. But the people you get to meet on, I get jealous sometimes that you get to interact with so many people on these journeys. But I would
Oh yeah.
suggest you leave. It's September now, so get out of California before winter because you don't want to be like the Dahmer family because you have to go across Tahoe. You want to get there before it snows,
Okay.
and you,
Yeah. Well,
I
I better
do
get a move on then.
I do worry about you. Okay,
Okay. I appreciate that, bud.
you got it. Well, there you go. This has been another episode of On the Floor with Wayne and Rob. Please stay tuned for another episode.